be reformed, it must be overthrown. This is what we mean when we say the fury of women must be unleashed as a mighty force for revolution, not contained, not domesticated, and channeled back into the same politics as usual that got us into this situation in the first place. Women did not win the right to abortion and to vote by being nice and by electing politicians. They did it by taking to the streets in powerful and fierce opposition, by challenging the traditional roles. And now, that resistance that we saw a glimmer of a couple years ago is being domesticated, is being channeled back into supporting Democrats who have told you they're not going to do anything to stand up against this fascist regime or do anything about the things people are here to actually do something about. So let's talk about how we actually could put an end to the patriarchal degradation of women and gender exploitation and oppression of LGBTQ people and all women everywhere. Let's talk about how we can actually put an end to the genocidal persecution, police murder, and mass incarceration of Black and Latino people. Let's talk about how we can actually end the demonization and the hunting and the roundups and deportations of immigrants and refugees. Let's talk about how we actually end the destruction and despoilation of our environment, the very planet we live on, the air we breathe, and the water we drink. And let's talk about how we can actually end the wars of empire and plunder, the drone bombings, the torture, the spying. Because not a single one of these people who are running for office is talking about ending any of that. In fact, some Democrats have positioned themselves to the right of Trump. Oh, Trump is ruining America's image in the world and its ability to exert influence and power. Oh yeah? Is that really what we want to be voting for? To strengthen American empire as they drop drones and bomb people all around the world? Because if that's what this is for, I'm not interested. If this is about getting our peace and all this exploitation and plunder, I'm not interested. And neither should you be. And we should be talking about how we actually can end the nightmare that humanity faces. People need to hear from Bob Avakian talking about real revolution, not half-stepping revolution, not chump change, but actual full-on liberation. How millions of people can go all out to fight to bring this system down and replace it with a whole new society. To put an end once and for all to what we call the 5 stops, the key concentrations of what this system does to people and cannot do without, and which are totally unnecessary in this world. And we got a little taste and a little picture of what kind of struggle and resistance is actually needed to stand up to this. Just a week ago, that murdering cop, Jason Van Dyke, was found guilty and locked up. That was not done by people going to march to the polls. That was not done by electing representatives. That was not done by fighting for reform. That was done by masses of people drawing a line in the sand and said, we will not be shot down like dogs. Starting in Ferguson, Baltimore, and then yes, here in Chicago, people took to the streets and they shut down business as usual. They didn't wait for some politician to come along to domesticate the resistance. They took to the streets. They shut down business as usual. And that's the only reason this cop was put on trial in the first place. And now they come along and they do it again, just like they're doing here. They try to bring everybody back together, heal the divisions. Let's all come together. Come on. These divisions are not things that we need to overcome. Because these divisions are not being created by some angry politicians, but even by Trump did not create these divisions. These oppressive relations amongst people are built into the fabric of this system, the foundations of this country. They are real divisions amongst people. And the system that is responsible needs to be overthrown.
Right.
We don't need to bring together the masses of oppressed people with their oppressors. We need to overthrow this system of oppression and those who enforce it. We don't need to start talking more like Trump so we can win over Trump supporters to our side. We need to defeat this fascist regime and the movement that has brought it to power and prevent the nightmare they're trying to enforce on humanity. We don't need to all come together as Americans so that we can project American power throughout the world. We need to bring this empire down and get it off the backs of people here and all around the world. And I know there's people here who actually care about one or more, or some care about all of the crimes of this system. And people are here because they think, and they're told every day, if you want to do something about it, all you can do is vote. Your voice doesn't matter unless you vote. You only power you have is if you vote for someone else who's going to do this for you. Well, somebody's got to say it. That's bullshit. Okay? And this is what they do every time people actually do what really matters. Every time people step outside politics as usual, they come along to domesticate that, to channel it back. Come back, come back. It's like that 3-card Monte hustler on the street trying to get you to play the game. Come on, come on. You can win. Just come on. Meanwhile, they're gaming you. They're getting you back into the very game where people are being played for suckers.